my dear children. Welcome to our science class. So, we are discussing about digestion in human beings, isn't it? Yes. So, we have a quick recall, isn't it? Yes. Come. So, we have discussed about digestion in humans. Digestion in humans is divided into alimentary tract and secretory glands, isn't it? So in the first one, alimentary tract consisting of buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. And the digestion of our food starts from buccal cavity. Inside the buccal cavity there is salivary gland, isn't it? Yes. And with the help of saliva, the starch in the food is converted into sugars, and then the food goes into the esophagus after mixing with saliva, isn't it? Then the esophagus is otherwise called as food pipe. Yes. So the esophagus, there is a movement in which the food is passing through the esophagus known as peristaltic movement or peristalsis. By this movement, the food reaches to stomach, isn't it? And within the stomach, there occurs some digestion with the help of some juices, some digestive juices secreted by the walls of the stomach, isn't it? And from there, the protein is converted into amino acids, or we can say that protein is digested into simple substances. Then in the small intestine, what happened? Yes, our digestion got completed in the small intestine with the help of intestinal juices and also with the help of two secretory glands, liver and pancreas. Liver has a secretion called bile, which is stored in a bag called gallbladder, and pancreas is another gland, and it has a secretion named as pancreatic juice, and with the help of both the enzymes and also some intestinal juices, what will happen? Digestion got completed within the small intestine, and after the digestion got completed, the components of the food get absorbed into the blood vessels by the process named as absorption, isn't it? Yes. And after that, within the cell, what will happen? Yes, these absorbed food materials build up to form complex substances known as assimilation. There are some finger-like projections you can see in the walls of the small intestine named as villi, isn't it? Yes. And that and that villi help us to absorb the components of the food into blood vessels. Then within the large intestine, what will happen? The undigested and unabsorbed food get enters into large intestine, and within the large intestine, water and some salts are being absorbed, isn't it? And the remaining is goes to rectum, and within the rectum, the waste materials is stored in the form of a semi-solid fecal matter, and it is removed through the hole named as anus, and the process is called as egestion, isn't it? That all the things we have discussed about digestion in human beings, and this we completed the digestion in human beings. Next, we are moving into digestion in grass-eating animals, isn't it? So, which are all the grass-eating animals you may know? Cow, buffalo, goat, etc. Yes. Now let us have a look. What are the digestive system in grass-eating animal consist of? So, the digestion starts from the mouth. Then they have esophagus. Then a special part named as rumen. After that, the food enters into the stomach. After that, small intestine, another special part known as cecum. Then it enters into large intestine. After that, the waste get ejected outside. Hope you understand what are the digestive system in grass-eating animals consist of. Mouth, esophagus, rumen, stomach, small intestine, cecum and large intestine. Now, let us have a detailed look on this. Okay. Now, did you see? Even the animals are not, even the grass-eating animals are not eating. They are simply chewing something. What's that? Did you think that? Did you see that? Simply, even when the cow is resting somewhere, you can see that the cow is chewing something. What it is? Let us have a look. When they are eating grass, at that time they are not chewing their food. They are not chewing their food when they are eating. What they are doing? They are simply swallowing it. Without chewing, they are simply swallowing it. And that food reaches into a special part named as rumen. Understood? Which food? Yes, simply swallowed food reaches into the special part named as rumen. Rumen is a part of the stomach. Understood? It is not a separate part. Rumen is the part of the stomach. Now, after that, what will happen? Within the rumen, the food get partially digested. Understood? The food get partially digested. When the food reaches the rumen, at that time, that food is known as cud. That food is known as cud. Understood? First of all, when the cow is swallowed their food, it reaches into rumen. Through mouth, esophagus, it reaches to rumen. Within the rumen, that food got partially digested, and that food, thus we call it as cud. Understand? Then, but later what they do? Yes, this cud again returns it into their mouth when they are taking rest or something. This cud again return back to their mouth. Then what will happen? Yes, they are chewing it. Understood? They are chewing it, and hence what we can say, in the this cud reaches to stomach in the size of small lumps, and this the cow just chewing it. Understood? And this process, the process, what the cud returns it into stomach, returns it into mouth, and the animal chews it. That process is called it as rumination. That process is called it as rumination. Understood? Yes, and such animals we are call it as ruminants. Hence, grass-eating animals are also called ruminants. Why? Because the process rumination is happened in their body, isn't it? Yes. What do you mean by rumination? Yes, the cud got returns it into mouth, and the animal does chewed it. That process we call it as rumination, and those organisms which follows or which carry rumination is called ruminants. Then that process we call it as rumination, and the organisms call it as ruminants. Then after that what will happen? Yes, then it again comes to stomach, then small intestine, then a special part named as cecum. What is the use of this special part? Grass. Grass is full of, or we can say that grass is rich in cellulose. Cellulose is a type of carbohydrate. Cellulose is a type of carbohydrate. So we can say that grass is rich in cellulose, a type of carbohydrate, isn't it? So within the cecum, what is happening? The cellulose in the grass is digesting here. Understood? Within the cecum, what is happening? Yes, the cellulose in the grass is digesting within the cecum by some bacteria present in the cecum. Understood? By some bacteria present in the cecum. Understood? And then it goes to large intestine. Now, can I ask one question? Can humans eat grass? Will it digest? Will it digest? Why it won't digest? Why grass is not digested in human beings? Because we don't have any cecum, isn't it? Yes, the cecum has only water. Some bacteria present in cecum has the ability to digest cellulose, but in humans cecum is absent. Hence, our human body can't digest cellulose. That's why humans can't eat grass. Okay, So this is about the digestive system or digestion in grass eating animals. So the important is rumen, isn't it? What is happening inside the rumen? Yes, the partially digested food named as cut returned back to mouth and the animal chews it. This process is called as rumination, and the organisms which carry or which follow rumination is known as ruminants. So grass eating animals is otherwise called as ruminants, isn't it? Then grass is rich in cellulose, with a type of carbohydrate. So within the cecum, what will happen? Yes, there are some bacteria present in the cecum. Only this bacteria have the ability to digest cellulose. That's why human can't eat grass. Hope you understand the digestion in grass eating animals. So where the cecum is seen? In between small intestine and large intestine. In between small intestine and large intestine, the cecum is placed. Cecum is just a bag-like, large sac-like structure. Understood? Large sac-like structure present in between small intestine and large intestine. So within the cecum, what is happening? The cellulose is get digesting by some bacteria present in the cecum. Next, we are moving to digestion in a unicellular organism. Did you remember what is unicellular and multicellular organism? We have discussed that in our first chapter. Did you remember? Yes. Like that, we are here discussing about a unicellular organism. Digestion in a unicellular organism, and that unicellular organism named as amoeba. What it is named? Amoeba. 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 Okay. Now we are going to study about what is the process of feeding and the digestion in amoeba. Okay, first of all, we can just have a look what is amoeba. Amoeba is a unicellular organism. Amoeba is a unicellular organism seen in pond water. Amoeba can be seen in pond water. So this is the shape of amoeba. Can you see? This is the just a picture of amoeba. So amoeba is a single cellular or unicelled organism. That means this is the only one cell of this body. Understood? So it have a nucleus. Can you see this large bubble inside the inside this amoeba's body? Yes, this is nucleus, and the wall of the amoeba's body called cell wall or cell membrane. Okay, cell wall or cell membrane. Next, can you see small bubbles in this? Small bubbles. Can you see this? Yes, these small bubbles are called vacuoles. So this one is called nucleus, and this the small bubbles called vacuoles. And this is the body of the amoeba called cell wall or cell membrane. Okay. Now this amoeba is constantly changing its shape and position. Let us look how it is. Amoeba is constantly changing its shape and position. Now you just listen here. Can you see this finger, some finger-like projection seen in amoeba's body? This one. Can you see this? Yes. This finger-like projection in the amoeba's body is called pseudopodia. What we can call? Pseudopodia. The finger-like projection you can see in the amoeba's body is called pseudopodia or false feet. So what is the use of this pseudopodia? This pseudopodia is used for their movement. Through water and also to capture food. Let's understand. And also to capture food. So this is the just structure of the amoeba. Amoeba is a unicellular organism. It has a cell wall and a cell membrane and nucleus. So many vacuoles inside the cytoplasm. And it is seen in the pond water. It is constantly changing its shape and position, and some finger-like projection seen in amoeba's body is called pseudopodia or false feet. It is used for the movement in water and also to capture food. We can look what is the mode of feeding and the digestion in amoeba. Okay. Now you just see that amoeba is floating in the pond water, isn't it? So by the floating, when amoeba feels or it senses any food, isn't it? When it is flowing in the water, when it senses any food or when any food substance come to the body of the amoeba, what amoeba is doing now? Yes, when it reaches here or some anywhere in the body, anywhere in the body, what is happening now? Yes, when the food particles reaches here, what the amoeba is doing now? Yes, the amoeba starts to engulf it. What do you mean by engulf it? Just catch it. Understood? Engulf it means just catch it. So how amoeba engulf it? Yes, the amoeba makes the pseudopodia like this. Understood? Amoeba makes the pseudopodia like this, and the food get enters into the body. Understand? What the amoeba do? Yes, the amoeba push out the pseudopodia. First of all, the pseudopodia is like this, isn't it? First of all, the pseudopodia is like this. When a food vacuole or any food reaches the body of the amoeba, what amoeba do? Amoeba pushes the pseudopodia. Amoeba push this pseudopodia like this, and what do? Yes, and engulf that food particles into the body. Understood? Now what happens? Yes, the amoeba got a new shape. Understood? The amoeba got a new shape now. Then the food particles enters into the body. Now the body have so many digestive juices present. Understood? So with that help of digestive juices, the food particle get digested. Understood? And the nutrients or components of food is absorbed into the body, and after that, what is happening? The waste particles or unabsorbed food have to eject outside, isn't it? Yes, so it is going outside in any body part, isn't it? In any body part. So if it is comes here, what is happening now? The pseudopodia goes like this, and the food vacuole goes out, and now the amoeba goes a new shape. Understand? This is the way in which amoeba is feeding and digestion is happening in amoeba. What is the process? Once again we can say it. When amoeba senses any food particles, what is happening? Amoeba pushes out the pseudopodia. Amoeba pushes out the pseudopodia around the food particle and engulf it. And thus the food particle get trapped or enters into the body, isn't it? And with the help of the digestive juices secreted in the body, what is happening? Yes, the food is get digested and the components got absorbed by the body, and the unabsorbed food or waste have to ejected outside. How it is ejected outside? Yes, like this. The pseudopodia goes like this, and the waste go outside, and now the amoeba got a new shape. That's why we can say that amoeba is constantly changing its shape and position. Understood? Why we are saying amoeba is constantly changing its shape and position? Understood? And the absorbed substance is used for growth, maintenance, then multiplication, so many things. Understood? So this is about the digestion process in amoeba. So which is the part used for engulfing the food vacuole? That is pseudopodia or false feet. Hope you understand the digestion in the single cellular organism named as amoeba. So that's all about our this chapter, nutrition in animals. Now you have to go through the whole videos and you have to write down the notes. That's all about our this chapter. So we have discussed about digestion, the whole digestion, ingestion, egestion and digestion. Both all are same in most of the organism, but some method is different, isn't it? Yes. So if you have any doubt regarding this chapter, you have to clarify it. Okay, that's all for today. Bye bye.